Hi everybody, and welcome to Mike Nierychlo Online, sharing my love for people, wine, food, and all things made passionately. Alright, today's episode, a couple of wines I want to share with you that represent something kind of annually iconic that happens in the Okanagan, we'll put it that way. Black Hills Winery, we've got a white and a red from them. Now Black Hills, let's put it this way, located in Oliver, one of the standout cult wineries of British Columbia, of the Okanagan Valley. They're right on the Black Sage Bench. We've got, and I'm sure you've heard of it before, their Nota Bene and their Alibi. Now these are the two big wines that have kind of put them on the map. The Nota Bene is the cult wine for this winery that kind of made the winery take off. Nota Bene, I believe, I don't remember which vintage it was, but one of their vintages sold out in like 56 minutes of this wine. Curious to taste it, curious to see what it offers. We did the 2008 Nota Bene in a previous episode, that competition Duke It Out round with Icon Wines. It's a fun episode, about 10 episodes ago or so, something like that. So this is the 2009, their current release. But before I get started with the Black Hills couple of wines, I want to tell you about what's happening, what I mean iconically annually with Black Hills. This is their third annual Osoyoos Celebrity Wine Festival. Now this happens in Osoyoos, obviously represented by Black Hills. A bunch of other local wineries from the area get together and they put on this big festival. They invite celebrities from all over Canada to come by. It's a big hangout time. There's all kinds of neat different events that go on. What do we got? I got a couple of them jotted down here for you. We've got the Sunset Sabre. It's kind of their kickoff evening event. That's where they get celebrities and media people down at the beach and we saber bottles of wines as creative as we possibly can. It's kind of a kickoff event. Judgment in Osoyoos. This year they're doing a huge Syrah judgment where they sit down and they've got a panel of judges and they're going to compare Syrahs from around the world compared with our local ones and see which ones do the best. Now, this is a similar concept. If you've seen the movie Bottle Shock, same sort of thing as the giant Syrah tasting that put Napa Valley, giant Chardonnay tasting that put Napa Valley on the map as far as their wines up against France's wines. And they couldn't believe that. I think it was like the 1976 tasting that Chardonnay outdid French Chardonnay in Napa Valley. Anyway, same sort of idea of Judgment in Osoyoos. They've got Celebrity Wine Auction. Now this is the big wine auction that happens at the Osoyoos Celebrity Festival. This is kind of the feature of the festival, or one of the features. The Celebrity Festival, also a lot of the proceeds go to their local charity, which is United Way. Within the last few years, they've been able to put together about $50,000 of donations towards United Way because of the festival. So awesome. Great proceeds for that. Also coming from a good time. Now, the other main feature of the festival, one of the main events that's kind of also put the name of the festival on the map, is the Vinos. Now, the Vinos are kind of right up my alley. Unfortunately, I'm not contributing one this year, but I'm going to be hanging out at the festival full time, seeing what's going on up there. And I'll be sharing a lot of it with you in future episodes, just highlights of the Celebrity Festival. But the Vinos, what are they? They're a wine video contest. Basically, they want you to make a wine video. Submissions were due June 1st, but the Vinos is this crazy competition of goofy wine videos, fun wine videos. It can be serious if you want, but it's a competition of just, what do you want to call it? You make a video about wine. A lot of people choose to make it about BC wines. I think it's supposed to be about BC wines. A lot of people choose to make it about Nota Bene, but they just do these quirky different things. So I'll have a link below the video so you can check out last year's Vinos. They're always a hoot to watch. A bunch of people goofing around in front of camera more or less, and there's a good cash prize at the end for putting your effort in on camera. Anyway, that's the Celebrity Wine Festival coming up next week, a week away, June 9th to 12th. I'm stoked to head out up there. I'm stoked to have a blast with everybody up there and see if we can get you some cool interviews. See if we can chat with Terry Mulligan or Jason Priestley or Chad Oates. See what we can do. Should be a good time. All right, let's get right into the Black Hills wines. So their Alibi. This is their 2009 Alibi. Now, a lot of people know this wine. They've got the silly writing on the label there for it. They call it their whimsical wine. That's what the label has to do with. Now this is it's a French style blend of wine. White wine. It's a 75% Sauvignon Blanc, 25% Semillon. Now this is often a blend you find in Bordeaux or in the Loire Valley, that sort of thing. Interesting style of wine. It's also the same blend they use for Sauternes, all those sort of things in France. So it's a classically well-known style of wine. Let's see how it performs here in BC. I think this is about a $25 to $30 bottle of wine. All right, here we go. So what do we smell in this wine? On the nose. Wow. This is honey. Honey, 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 honey. Wow, I don't think I've ever smelled this much honey on a glass of wine. Tons of honey. Now, tons of honey with subtle hints of like, I get some banana in there, a lot of melon, kind of honeydew melon, some kind of lemon, lime, citrus. Nice nose. Okay, now what do we taste on this one? Ooh. Wow. It just keeps going. Give me a second, I'm enjoying the finish of this wine. I'm still tasting it. It's like the finish is, it's like I'm tasting it down here. As I breathe and talk, I can still taste it. This has got a lot of flavor to it. Ooh, on the palate, wow. That's a delicious wine. Bar none, delicious wine. Very savory. My mouth is just watering like crazy from drinking this. Super savory. This is a perfect like seafood wine. This is your shellfish, seafood, spot prawn wine, whatever you want to do that's a seafood wine. It would work so well. Super savory. Great like hint of lemon tartness. A little bit of that kind of banana meets melon in there. Still tons of that honeyness. Tons of that honey on the palate. Beautiful mouth feel though too. It's got this nice bright acidity in the rear end that completes it, but it's soft, subtle creaminess through your mid palate. I like it. Now, another reason Black Hills has become a cult winery is because they're making good wine too. You can't become a cult winery without making good wine. So anyway, 2009 Alibi on my rating system, I'm going to call you great. This is a great wine. I like this. Super yummy. Look for that one. You'll enjoy it, especially if you're doing your seafood and shellfish. All right, give my glass a bit of a rinse here. They also do, I've had them on the show before, their Chardonnay and their Viognier. All I can say, the Viognier was done on the Cracker Lady episode. That was an exquisite Viognier, so good. There's their 09 Viognier. 2008 Chardonnay from them, also good wine. I've only ever had consistently pretty decent wines from Black Hills Winery. Now you're paying a little bit more of a premium for them, but you're getting pretty good value in the bottle. 2009, this is their current release, Black Hills Nota Bene. Now Nota Bene, this is their flagship wine, like I said earlier. It's about $55 a bottle, roughly. Depends where you purchase it. Let's see what happens with this one. Now it's a classic Bordeaux blend from Oliver. It's 46% Cab Sauv, 38% Merlot, and 16% Cabernet Franc. Curious to try it out. Okay. Wow, the cab is coming through. Full tilt. Okay, on the nose. Now, here's the one thing I'm going to be warnful of. This is their 09. This is only 2 years old. It's young for this style of wine. It's definitely young for the style of wine. I shouldn't be opening this right now, but I'm going to tell you my opinion of it right now, and I'm sure it's got a lot of potential to it. Right away on the nose, I get that. Cabernet jumps through, you get a pile of those black currants, like a pile of black currants. Some really neat ash. I really like the ash, kind of charred, ash or a charred wood aroma. Neat hint of minerality to it. Kind of some, see, it's opening up. And I'm using my my breathable glass in this episode. I'll have to do another episode on these one day. Trust me, they actually work, which is so weird. I'm not getting into that right now. Hints of kind of coffee bean meets earth and dirt, kind of like that. Yeah, it's got a nice nose to it. Definitely a savoriness coming through. Some pepper, that kind of thing. A lot going on, let's put it that way. A little bit of meat too. Kind of that salami aroma. Yeah, tons of fruit coming through though. That Cabernet, it's a Cabernet fruit. I smell Cab Sauv on the nose of this. Get a bit of that green herbaceous vegetal sort of play too. It's funny. The spit bucket on this show so far is becoming less and less used. You see me reach for it and then I'm thinking, forget it. Good wine. This is a nice wine. Actually, it's drinking rather well right now. If you were to open a bottle of this, decant it. Definitely decant it. There's beautiful, flavorful tannins on it. The tannin comes across, the finish and the tannin comes across this beautiful kind of coffee meets chocolate flavor. Coffee meets chocolate on the finish. Tons of those black currants coming through on the for the fruit flavors. A little bit of that black cherry. Kind of black licorice. Wow. Piles of black licorice on this wine on the palate. Black licorice meets a little bit of that meaty ash, a little bit of the earth. Another good wine. Both delicious wines. Separate sides of the spectrum. This one, under screw cap. Meant to be kind of open now. Enjoyed shellfish wine. Nota bene, under cork. Ageable wine. Big potential. This is a 10, 15-year-old wine. You can easily, well, not right now, but you can age it 10, 15 years. It's going to hold its own, and it's going to open up more and more. In the cellar behind me, I got a whole bunch of their past vintages too, and I'm excited to open them one day. It's really too bad you couldn't do like a vertical vintage tasting somehow, so they're all the exact same age, but that would never work. Think about that for a second. Interesting concept. Under cork. Anyway, like I said, about $55. This is a great wine as well. Putting it in that realm. Great wine. So good. I like it. Yeah. Everything I talked about in this episode, we're dragging on a little bit here. I'll put below the video a couple links. Soya Celebrity Wine Festival, the Vinos, make sure you check them out. Awesome. I'll be up there having a blast, and I'll be sharing it with you guys afterwards. Thank you everybody out there so much for watching today. And please, please don't forget, wine, depretensionize. See you on the next episode.